What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. Now, somebody suggested that I checked out the Ford GT40. They wanted a classic car on Assetto Corsa, so you know what? GT40, pretty cool car. I'm personally not the biggest fan of kind of classic cars in general. However, out of all the classic, I mean, this car is really classic, like the 1960s. The GT40 would probably be one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm going to take it to Monza. Thought it'd be an interesting track to take it to, see how it goes. Alright, so we are here at Monza in the GT40. Looking pretty cool. Don't know if I'm such a big fan of those rims. However, it is a pretty cool car, and obviously it's a very iconic car. I finally found out how to look backwards on a wheel as well, which is good. Yeah, pretty awesome car. It also sounds pretty good. Listen to that. Doesn't that just sound amazing? We're going to put it into first gear and get into the right view, and we're going to go take this thing for a little bit of a spin around this track. So, I haven't driven this car on this game yet. I also haven't driven at Monza on this game yet. I have driven Monza before on, Gran Turismo 6. Oh, the gears look to be a bit weird. I guess with it being a classic car, the gears are going to be a bit interesting. But that's fine. We're just gonna have to get used to that. Yeah, I've driven Monza on Gran Turismo 6 definitely. Fairly sure Monza is on Project Cars as well. I think it is. Project Cars has a lot of tracks, so I imagine Monza would be on there. So I have driven Monza quite a bit. It's not my favorite track in the world. I don't know what it is. A lot of people really like Monza, but for me, it's not. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The brakes are not fantastic. I suppose that's to be expected from a classic 1960s car. That is to be expected. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch out for the brakes. We're gonna have to brake quite a bit earlier than I would perhaps like, or than I usually would. You know, instead of braking like halfway down these braking lines, pretty much gonna have to brake at the start of them. But yeah, Monza, a track that I don't hate. And it's not exactly a particularly hard track. It's not the most interesting of tracks in my opinion. A lot of straightish sections where you don't have to really do much braking, and then there's these really hard braking zones at these chicanes. I mean, there's chicanes everywhere on this circuit, which are cool. However, I just don't think it's the most interesting of circuits, in my opinion. There's not much in the way of different corners. I mean, you do have a lot of fast corners where you don't have to brake, and there just doesn't seem to be anything in between, like slight braking corners. The closest thing you're probably going to get is this corner here, where you will be braking a decent amount. However, compared to some tracks, it just doesn't have as much variety. It's pretty much, there's very fast corners, there's about 3 chicanes, I believe, maybe even 4, I'm not sure. I think it's 3, but not 100% sure. And then that one kind of medium corner, so it isn't really the most balanced track, I suppose. But yeah, I'm surprised. Oh, this actually has 5 gears, which I am quite surprised about. Right, we're gonna brake right at the start there, and we're just gonna get it stopped. Yeah, the brakes on this car not amazing. However, we are traveling at pretty high speeds, and considering this car is from the 1960s, it doesn't do too bad for itself. It does not do too bad. Now, the actual Ford GT40, what do I think of it? Well, the Ford GT40 has always been a pretty interesting car to me. Obviously, it's a very famous car. Ridiculously big back in the time. Back in the day. Not time. Why did I say time? Back in time. I don't know where I'm going with this. Personally, I quite like the GT40. However, I'm not a big fan of kind of classic cars in general. However, the GT40 would have to be one of my favorite, if not my favorite kind of car from around this time. I mean, we're putting it up against like the Lamborghini Miura. That's the only other one I can really think of off the top of my head that would kind of be in the same sort of category as this. I mean, there's like Corvettes and stuff from the 60s. However, I don't think they would really compete with this. I don't think they would really quite have the same, power and craziness as this. But if I put this up against like the Miura, Lamborghini Miura, I prefer this. I'm a big Lamborghini person. I really do like my Lamborghinis. I mean, I love Gallardos, Aventadors, even like Murcielagos are alright. You know, all the new Lamborghinis I'm a real big fan of, Hurricanes. However, the Miura isn't something that I was very interested in. It just doesn't, I'm not a big fan of the looks of it. And you know, if I had to have either a Miura or a GT40, I would have a GT40. I think it's a pretty, I don't know, I just prefer the GT40 a little bit. We've got a little bit of a slide going there, which is always nice. And yeah, this car it drives pretty well actually. Considering it's a car from the 60s, it definitely doesn't do bad. I mean, it's got decent traction, decent grip and everything. The brakes, like I said, are not amazing, but I mean, we're going almost 170 miles an hour coming into this first chicane. And I mean, we get stops relatively easy from a car from this time. It definitely isn't bad. I probably should be in first around there because we end up being very sluggish out of the corner, but that's fine. Anyway, I think I am going to end the video there, guys. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Comment what other cars you'd like to see me do a video on in Assetto Corsa, and I will hopefully get around to that. So thank you once again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.